Hollywood has always been gay. In this series, we uncover gay moments that defined or were hidden from history. For this week's video, we're going back to the 60s. George Takei needs no introduction.
Oh my.
Whether you know him from his memes or from his days as Sulu on the Star Trek series, everyone knows this Californian-born actor in some way or another. He started his career in the 1950s providing voiceovers for characters in the English dubbing of the Japanese monster films, including the 1955 kaiju movie Godzilla Raids Again. In 1965, producer Gene Roddenberry cast Takei as the astroscience physicist Hikaru Sulu, a role which would kickstart a successful career in acting. Takei came out as gay at the age of 68 in a 2005 issue of Frontiers, a Los Angeles magazine that covers news in the gay and lesbian community. He stated he decided to officially come out as gay in a response to the then California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger's decision to veto the bill that legalized same-sex marriage in California. Though his sexuality wasn't a secret in the 60s, he couldn't officially come out as gay. "I learned at a young age that you couldn't be an openly gay actor and hope to be employed. I was already an Asian American actor, so I was already limited a lot. To this day, there are big Hollywood actors who are not out in order to protect their careers." Takei revealed that he had asked the producers why there were no gay characters on the Star Trek series. He was told that society would never approve of homosexuality on primetime TV. In a move that should be considered brave for the time, Takei started living his life with his sexuality being an open secret, meaning that fans knew he was gay, but he stayed in the closet to please Hollywood producers. Today, Takei is considered by many to be a gay icon. Before we continue, we publish videos every Saturday and Sunday, so remember to click like and subscribe. Also, if you enable notifications, you'll be the first to know whenever we post new videos. We also love hearing from you, so please leave a comment. Now back to the video.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Judy Garland is probably one of the most important gay icons in history. Her role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz made her the ultimate icon of LGBTQ+ individuals. Her performance of the song Over the Rainbow became an anthem of hope, yearning, and the pursuit of a better world. The film was released in a time when the LGBTQ community didn't have equal rights. Thus, the song resonated with gay fans. So much so that her song, Over the Rainbow, inspired the rainbow flag, a symbol of hope and perseverance. Throughout her career, she solidified herself as a gay icon with her troubled personal life and struggles echoing those of the gay community trying to be accepted. In the 60s, Esquire magazine published a theory as to why gay people identified with Garland, calling it the tragic figure theory. Gay people are a persecuted group, and they understand suffering, and so does Garland. All her life, she's been through the fire and lived to tell the tale. All types of suffering, she knows, and so do gay people. She struggled from low self-esteem and was easily taken advantage of by the industry, as well as in her personal life, which caused mental problems which affected her career in the end. Judy Garland died at the age of 47 on June 22, 1969.
Judy Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli, had requested that her mother's funeral be held in as dignified a manner as possible. Apparently, she's getting her wish. Some of the thousands of people who came today have been standing on line for hours. They moved slowly into the funeral home and into the chapel where the body of Judy Garland lay in a glass-topped casket.
Judy Garland's sudden death in the 60s had a tremendous impact on gay history.
The Stonewall riots that led to the gay rights movement coincided with the funeral of legendary entertainer Judy Garland.
There are mixed reactions to what really caused the Stonewall riots, though it's been rumored for 5 decades that the sudden passing of star Judy Garland made an impact.
The 1997 book, Gay Metropolis, theorizes the Stonewall riots were inspired by grieving gay Garland fans who stood up to police. At midnight, on June 28, 1969, bar patrons mourned her death since her funeral were mere hours earlier.
The unexpected death of Judy Garland, her funeral, as well as various other factors like the death of Martha P. Johnson, mixed on that fateful night to create the perfect storm. Historical documents state that there were several patrons at the Stonewall Bar that night who, according to bar patron Sylvia Rivera, had come from the very emotional Judy Garland funeral a few hours earlier to drink and mourn the death of the icon. There was certainly an appreciation of Garland among Stonewall Inn patrons, according to eyewitnesses. Because the bar had no liquor license, it was passed off as a club and patrons were required to sign in. Many used pseudonyms and Judy Garland were amongst the most popular.
Time magazine, in a recent story, said that Judy Garland, for some reason, which was not clear to me, attracts a lot of homosexuals in her audience.
I've been brutally treated by the press, but I'll be damned if I like to have my audience mistreated.
Clark Polak was an American businessman, publisher, journalist, and LGBT activist. During the gay rights movement of the 1960s, he was the president of the Philadelphia organization called the Janus Society. In 1964, he created and edited Drum Magazine, a low-budget gay interest magazine. The magazine even featured the first ever gay comic strip, Hairy Chest, the Man from Auntie, and was a spoof of the Man from Uncle. The magazine was a success and became one of the best-selling magazines in America. In March 1967, Polak was arrested when his home was raided by the police and over 70,000 gay books, photos, and magazines were seized. Polak was indicted by a grand jury, but because one of the warrants was filled out incorrectly, the judge dismissed the case. 2 years later, Polak was arrested for a second time and charged with distributing obscene materials and operating a peep show at one of his adult bookstores. Polak was found guilty and sentenced to 2 years in prison, which was reduced to 2 months. After 2 additional arrests, Polak was found guilty by 2 federal grand juries in 1969 and 1970. He pleaded no contest to the charges of mailing obscene publications and was sentenced to 5 years probation on condition he stopped operating gay businesses in Philadelphia. Brian Idol was a physique model from the 60s. His muscular body and boy next door looks made him popular with magazines like Drum and Physique Pictorial. Like so many others that came before him, Idol dreamed of becoming a star and hoped that his modeling gigs would kickstart his career. Sadly, his dreams were never realized, but he will forever be remembered as a hunk from the 60s whom we fell in love with. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to click like and subscribe. Also, check out some of the other videos on this channel.